Now, answering your questions about the law and legal issues. This is Legal Break with attorney Gary Bruce.
Maureen Akers here today with Gary. Gary, thank you so much for joining us again.
Good to be here. Thank you.
Well, we're talking about topics that are in the news, and then also today we have one that's come from our viewer. Involves the military.
Right.
We have a lot of military, as you know, in our area. They're active with their families or retired.
Sure.
This one involves, what if you're military, you're active military, and you've been in an accident? Are you required to notify somebody on post?
The short answer is yes. Mm-hmm. The longer answer is, and it's important to know there is a distinction between active duty retirees and military dependents, and how, kind of the rest of us deal with these things.
Right.
I see it come up because people want to rush things too much. Mm-hmm. And when you are military, when you're active duty, you do have an obligation to work with the government to reimburse for any medical that you recover. Mm-hmm. So if you recover medical bills under the case, mm-hmm. then you have to deal with the JAG office in reimbursing that amount.
Gotcha. So that's kind of interesting then. So being obviously, as you mentioned, being active duty can impact the case. What about dealing with your lawyer and such as that? How does that all play into this?
Yeah, well, we see it a good bit because there's confusion for people who don't deal with this very often on what is the lawyer's role, how do you work with the government. We have to actually enter into an agreement with the government to represent their interests, and in doing so, we have to collect this money for the government. But the good news is the client, the real injured party, doesn't have to pay the lawyer for that. The government kind of makes us do that on the side.
Yeah.
Now, if there's more bills than there is coverage, that's when we see there are problems, and there are exceptions to these rules. There are ways around it. There are recognition by the government that someone isn't made whole. That's a topic we can talk about on another day, but I think the short answer is yes, you need to coordinate with the Judge Advocate General's office. Your lawyer needs to coordinate with the Judge Advocate General's office, and they will work in turn to provide information you may need to help advance your case too. So it's a working together situation.
Well, what if I feel like I'm not getting the help I need from the JAG office? And what do I do then?
Well, you need to talk to your lawyer then.
Yeah.
Because the JAG office is there to serve, and they do a pretty good job. I really do think they do a good job in supplying us what we need, and we have a good relationship, frankly, with the office in getting the bills and the information we need. You got to work together.
Yeah.
The world is about working together and getting things done, and they're good about that.
Yeah, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us, Gary, and we look forward to seeing you on the very next Legal Break.